Alright, so everything is pretty much dry, and I gotta say, this is definitely one of my better ideas. We can definitely list this into one of my better ideas, because I think this is pretty slick, if I do say so myself. I know there's a chance that, it could possibly turn, or, the POR patch could fail, but I don't know, like this, the POR patch is, like, I even just put a screw in just to give it a test. I also got a washer for the outside of it to put on when these actually go into the bumper. But I'm just kind of pulling on this lately. I haven't quite given it 24 hours yet. I think they suggest, I think it's like giving it 3 days is the ideal thing, but this has only been like, I think 12 hours, and it's already on there real good. This is in there pretty thick. I mean, I think I put a good amount on, not to mention it already kind of, when it slipped in, it was already in there pretty good, so this just further sealed it. These, this was a pretty clever idea. And I need to stroke myself once in a while because, hey, we all have good ideas that we want to share once in a while. And I think because this just came out really well. I'm just pleased with the way this came out. It's not going to scrape against the bumper or anything. It's going to go right in, and I think it'll work out really nice. I think I compare these. I painted all the ones that survived, not the ones that didn't. I'll have a funeral for those later. But see, it's about the same size. I'll just put the washer on the end here, and I think it's going to work out. I'll probably paint these black just to blend in better. But again, these are going to be on the bottom. That's what I got lucky about. These are all going to be on the bottom, so that's lucky. On this side, this one, it wasn't as bad. I just really needed something here for the, somewhere I have a loose pin, or I'm pretty sure I do. Hope I do. And I think it's around here somewhere for like a pin just like this one to slide in. I'll have to go looking for that. And hopefully that'll just slide in there and just hold, and it won't be a problem because this one was just a little had fallen off here. This one was a lot bigger, but I'd used this, like, it was kind of like a plastic rubber washer with like metal around the outside coating, and it kind of slid here really good. I'm thinking I'm going to put a little bit more on and give it some time. But for the most part, these are all good, and then I'm just going to sand them off, clean them real nice, and then it's going to be time to paint them. And I did a little test. I've had this one. This is the one I used on the mirrors and the license plate holder, and this came out really good. I really like this stuff, so I went looking for the closest possible stuff. I couldn't find Rust-Oleum textured specialty anywhere. I don't even know if they make this kind of stuff anymore, but I just did a little test spray on a piece of wood here, and they look identical. I mean, even if they don't feel the same, what I'm thinking is I'll use this on the mirrors, the license plate, and the bumper extensions, and then I might need more than one can, I'm not sure yet. I'll use this on the fender flares. And even if they're kind of like different consistency, like this is a little bit harder and the fender flare is a little bit more smooth, that would be great with me. I mean, as long as they look the same, it's all going to kind of glide into one another looking like the same color, and it's going to look really smooth. And for the most part, I mean, you can't really tell the difference there, can you? I mean, it looks like the exact same kind of color, so. And I imagine the materials, because you kind of feel on the top of the can, they're almost identical. Like, I think these probably are identical. This is probably the same stuff, just this is kind of old. I've had this for a while, and I just picked this up yesterday. Along with this thing is really nice. I really recommend this. I saw this on Wrangler forums when I was looking for the hardtop stuff to paint that, and this is really nice. I already tried this once. It looks so gimmicky, like, oh come on, do I really need this? But honestly, this clips over the top of the when you have the cap off. It just clips right to the top, and then it gives you such a it's comfort. It's comfort. It lets you kind of get a better angle on it. And this just, when you kind of press and down on it, you kind of, sometimes you press a little too much and you're like, oh man, I got, one spot's a little too thick. There's nothing I can do now. But this kind of gives it a nice, even flow. And this is really good. I'm glad I picked this up. It's $10, completely worth it. I'm going to be using it for everything I paint from now on. And that's a couple things to paint, so like I said, I'm just going to probably reinforce this more, make sure I have the pin for this. If I don't, I might end up having to do the same thing here with these. But these are pretty much ready to go, so I'm going to sand these down and clean them off real good, get all the crap out of them. There's still a little bit in there. And just make sure I'm going to do a little test fit, just to make sure they fit on the bumper, and if they do, I'm going to go ahead and give these a shot with the paint. This is how they used to look, and this is how they look now. Yeah, I mean, look at the comparison between these two. That's so much better. I really, really like the way these came out. And I can see this in the long run. I mean, all the Wranglers you see with the fender flares, any plastic bit that was on the Wranglers, the mud flaps, anything like this, all ended up graying out like this. And all of mine are, but this is what they're all going to look like. This is so nice. I really, really like this. And even with the paint, it even kind of blended in the upside down nuts I put in there, and it just looks really well. I mean, you're never going to see that, and obviously it's the bottom, so you're not going to see that. You're going to see this. I mean, this just looks so good. I really am really pleased with the way this is. All the plastic stuff has been coming out with the Rust-Oleum textured paint. Really good stuff. Really like it. Highly recommend it if you're doing anything with a Wrangler. If you have any of the plastic bumper extensions, the fender flares, any of this. This stuff is really nice. This is what you'd get, and it just looks so much better than that grayed out, old, scruffed up. This looks so nice, so beautiful. I really like this. Really love the way these came out. And then you got these over here. I let these sit overnight. So this one I found out that I had the pins that go on these for the stock screws. Somewhere, I don't know which one it is because I obviously lost count with all this, the mess of how many screws I lost and how many pins I lost. But I think this might have been the pin. No, this came off the front one, so I mean, this is the front. Well, no, this was the front one on the. Oh yeah, this might. You know what? I'm thinking this actually might have been the pin I lost. I think I did lose this pin, and I had another spare pin that had come off, and I think that was this one that I put back on here. So this one I just played the same trick that I did with these, and this worked out really nice with the upside down nuts. And I just got that in there. This round part anymore doesn't. It's not as much of a need as I thought I would need it before. But still, I got this in here. This is in here real solid. I already gave it a. This isn't coming out. So it's in there good. I'm gonna give it a test before I actually go and paint these. Obviously, to actually put it on, screw it in, and see if it'll fall off. And this was the worst one, just because the most amount of plastic had come off of this one. But I stuck this washer on here. It was on there good, but there was nothing here, right where this metal piece is now. So I was thinking, like, instead of taking the risk of it getting pulled too far and then breaking again, I figured I'd just slap a piece of metal under there. And yeah, that's on there good now, so it won't bend, it won't tug. I'm going to go put them on right now to see if they, you know, are they going to fall off or not. But this is a good fix. I got to say, I'm pretty proud of myself for these little makeshift fixes. They may not look pretty, but they're going to get the job done. Besides, you're never going to, unless these, you know, you take them back out again, you're never going to see them. Plus, once it's painted over, it's all kind of going to be the same color. Just like, I can't wait to do that. So I'm going to go try these, and then I'm going to paint these. Excited for that. Alright, so there they are. All 4 bumper extensions. At least 3 coats on all of them. Did a little bit of touch up. The can I actually had didn't spray too evenly. But I think they came out pretty good myself. You can't really tell. And besides, I mean, they're going to go on there. And especially like on the bottoms, it's just going to, you know, it's going to get stuff kicked up onto it. It's not a big deal. I was mostly just going to, you know, get rid of the gray. Because as soon as I paint the fender flares, that's going to be, most of the gray on that's going to be all gone. It's going to be yellow and black, and it's going to look really smooth and nice. And I can just picture that right now. That's going to look really good, especially with the guards. I mean, that guard really does look weird. The other side looks better just because it's been painted black. As poorly as it was painted, it still looks better. But these came out really good. It's like I said, that textured feel. Oh, it's so nice. And let me just, I'll grab it for you just to show you. I used up the rest of the can I intended to on this Rust-Oleum Specialty Textured Paint for Plastic. Used up the rest on these I intended to. They're all good now. I really like them. And again, I got to praise myself because, you know, I felt like I was pretty clever coming up with the fixes for the bottoms because they had rusted out and completely fallen out. But I pour patch these in again. Pour patch. I don't know what I'd be doing without it right now. And those go in. I already did a test that they'll actually screw in. And I'm probably going to go ahead and put the back ones on today because the back bumper looks kind of weird without the extensions on. The front one actually looks kind of cool. I like it. But I'm still going to put them back on because once the fender flares are painted, the whole it'll just kind of like groove into the bumper extension. It'll look really smooth. Actually, at that point, the worst looking thing is going to be the actual bumpers themselves when you get up close. I can't wait to bedline these or just get this paint off here in general. And I'm also going to hit these too. And what I started doing was, even though I used up the rest of this, if you've been following my videos and you've seen me using this stuff, identical. I mean, I know it's like a little different here since it says specialty, but this is identical. And these are great. You don't need to really sand down for these, at least what I've been doing for the plastic parts in the Jeep. It seemed like sanding down, like I had actually, you can't really notice a difference, but I actually did paint my gas cap. Well, actually not the cap. The cap's need to be painted, but I painted the mold for the gas cap part, and you can kind of tell where I kind of like I was sanding it, and I didn't really need to sand it. I'm probably going to put one more coat on this because it kind of got smudged a little bit here. Not that, you know, it's just a gas cap, but I'm kind of a perfectionist. But you can kind of tell it's coming together. You know, you got the license plate painted, gas caps, and this is going to be the same color as black as these two. And then the bumper extension is going to be right here. It's going to look really good. And what I also went and did is, actually, I got to make a review on this thing because this little thing right here, I've shown it before, but it's really nice. It's really nice for getting an evener coat. This stuff was good. This is literally identical. This is what I found. I'm gonna go pick up at least one more can of this because this isn't gonna be enough to do 3 coats on my fender flares. So I'll probably be doing that tomorrow on my day off. I'm also gonna be going to look at a guy I know at a Jeep shop, looking for hard doors for the YJ we have, and I also am gonna look for floor plugs. He said he had a tub, and I could, if I found anything I wanted, I could take it out of there. And that would be really good because floor plugs new are pretty expensive, so getting some used ones would be right up my alley. But this stuff is just like this stuff, really good. This is what I'd recommend. I'm using it right now, and you can tell because over here I got the mud flaps, which I almost had forgotten I had. I didn't completely forget, but I almost forgot I had these because I took these off to put on my taillight guards and just didn't put them back on. But I do want to get them back on for winter because a lot of stuff's getting kicked up into my where the plastic doesn't quite meet the metal, and I really got to clean out in there before winter. Probably what I'll do tomorrow or the next day. And this one came out really nice. You got like that there, but these are fender, mud flaps. You know what I mean? They're gonna take a beating. And actually, my only regret with these because they were like the same kind of like faded out gray, look terrible. Look how good they look now. Looks really nice. I mean, I recommend that Rust-Oleum textured paint. That stuff's good. The only thing here is like I don't know what dripped down on here or what hardened on here. Something got hit on this and just kind of, I'm not sure what that is exactly, but I suppose I could have chipped it off, but they're already painted now. I'm not going to put any more coats into these because, you know, they're just the mud flaps, and they're just going to, it'll look good when you, we'll grab this one. The back I might hit with another light coat because I still have plenty in there. But yeah, that stuff really does get it even on the first can I had wasn't too even, but you can't really notice. The second can is a bit more even. It's a different kind of nozzle, and that Rust-Oleum kind of like, doesn't really have a name. But it just goes on top of the spray can. It's really nice. You can just tell. Compare these two. Okay, this is the second can of paint. That was the first can of paint I had. Can you really tell a difference? Me either. So they both look, they're identical in color, identical in feel. They're exactly the same.